Welcome back to Golf Simulator Videos. Another brand new product hitting the golf simulator space, and probably the most asked about product for us to cover here in the channel in the past 90 days is the Square Golf Launch Monitor. I got my hands on one. We're gonna give you guys a full review and breakdown, show this thing in action, talk about all the specs, and a lot of common questions I've been getting from people on the Square Golf Launch Monitor, all in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. I appreciate everybody that sent me emails, commented on other videos, things along those lines, wanted to see the Square Golf in action here in the GSV studio. And you know, this is a unique golf launch monitor. So I'm just gonna get the biggest question right out of the gate. Well, how much is it? Well, it's $699. So this is actually entering what I would consider the budget space. All right, so comes in a green case like this. Kind of bring it up to the camera there just so you guys can see, and it does say Home Edition, and I want to say that Home Edition would be the fact that it includes a swing stick. So as I unbox this, I'm going to go through a lot of details on this golf launch monitor, a lot of the common questions and stuff, but one of them is that it includes a swing stick where you can actually play golf without hitting the ball and using this stick that they have that actually has trackers on it. So there's a lot to this thing we have to talk about. It's a camera-based golf launch monitor. It has two high-speed cameras, and it has infrared, which the nice part about infrared is that it's going to be able to see the golf ball and the club clearly, and that way it's giving you accurate data. Now, what's the accuracy level? Well, I'm going to talk about that too, because I know that, you know, some people are emailing me saying, hey, you know, I've got people telling me this is the same thing as a $25,000 launch monitor. What the heck's up with that? Well, I mean, that's just not the case. I mean, one, it uses marked balls. It uses marked balls for a reason, because it's not a $25,000 launch monitor that can read a ball without marks on it. So I'll show you those here in a minute, but let's just look at the launch monitor itself to start off. One, it's a very small form factor. So for someone that's looking for a portable unit, it's lightweight, and you can just kind of set this down where needed. You don't need you know, some special space to set this up, but you can actually see a camera down here, and you can see a camera up top, and then you can see the infrared lights. If I kind of move that around, see the infrared lights in there? They're right in the middle, and you can see those when we light them up as well. Now, an interesting part is it has a removable battery. So not only does the unit last up to 8 hours, which is a long time, you can actually swap out the battery if you wanted additional time from there. Now I'm going to go to the bottom of the unit and look at a power button, and then also the Bluetooth connectivity button, and you'll see a little white square down here as well. Well, what is that? It's actually a built-in alignment stick that it has. So you can actually use this to properly align the launch monitor, and it's kind of just built right into the unit. So kind of cool that they have that. So that's the launch monitor in a nutshell. And let's talk about kind of everything else it encompasses. So it actually is giving you ball data and club data. It does a full array of shots, including putting, chipping, iron, driver. So it's including all of those. Want to make sure I pointed that out to everybody. There's actually a lot of boxes within the box. Just kind of show that, how that looks here on the camera. And I'm going to get everything out one by one and show this to you guys. I just wanted to give you a full kind of unboxing review. That way you understand, you know, what to expect, what comes in. I don't know if I've, you know, seen anybody do that yet. A couple guys got hands on it early on, and then I had a bunch of requests, so I was like, you know what, let's get this thing in the channel right away. There's a user's manual inside of this box, and then of course it's available online as well. You'll see that it actually has a remote. This is a very common looking remote to a lot of things. And this is actually coming from the same company that produces XPut, which I think the XPut remote even looks similar to that. But you can see inside of here, batteries, some 3M tape, which I'm assuming that is the club stickers in order to get club data. And I'm gonna dive into the data on, you know, what's estimated and what's measured here in a minute as well. And then you kind of have just a little carrying cord, I would assume, that you can put on the device, and then a USB to USB-C for charging the device. Pretty simple and straightforward there. The next box, and I'll actually leave all this out because we're going to set it up right after this and show you guys everything in action. This is the battery. So the nice part about this is, one, it lasts a long time. I think 8 hours is a really good amount of time. I mean, most people, I can finish you know, 18 holes of golf in like 30 minutes comfortably in a golf simulator. Depends on if you're putting or using gimmies. This can play included golf on its software on an iOS or Android, which is very nice for a lot of people that, you know, maybe hitting into a net or, you know, don't want the full gaming computer or anything. You could play it on your iPad, play it on your Android device, anything like that. But then it's also allowing for connection to a PC for their own software, and this includes a range and, you know, courses and everything. I'm going to show all that here in just a minute. But then now they're having GS Pro connectivity, and I believe some other third-party integration as well. I'll make sure I list those off. But let's look at this battery really quick. So it says that it's a 6,000 mAh battery, 22.2 watts, 3.7 volts. So probably a somewhat common battery if it's not custom to the unit, but regardless, you know, the fact that you could get a spare one direct from the manufacturer just clicks in there really simply. It'd be really simple if you wanted just to have a spare battery ready at any point in time. So now let's look at these marked golf balls. There's actually two separate types of golf balls that they offer. There's a 2-piece and a 3-piece, all right? I believe that the included golf ball is a 2-piece, and I will verify that as well, but it's a urethane cover golf ball. It says new long range line for perfect alignment. So there must, I don't know if there's a line on the ball. That's an interesting statement that they're making, you know, on the box there. There's no like line, but it says new long range line for perfect alignment. Urethane cover for soft feeling, improved distance enabled by driver shot, iron shot for consistent performance, maximum trajectory driven by 332 dimples. So Nexen Corp, I don't know if I've ever heard of that before, but that's the golf ball manufacturer. Figure why not point that out to you guys. Designed in Korea, made in China, and it has the square logo on there. Now, I will bring one of these balls up so you guys can look at the pattern and know that it is unique to the device. I verified with them that you do need this pattern for the device to give you proper estimation. Now, what's also interesting is you don't need to use a marked ball if you don't want to. It actually will estimate the data with just a normal golf ball. And I'm going to talk about this really quick. So let's talk about shot data. So you have ball data and club data. Now let's start by saying it's a normal shot, which means you're using a real golf club, not the stick I'm going to show you in a second, and you're using the marked balls. It will provide, using a club's marker on the club as well, the ball speed, the ball direction, the backspin, the side spin, all measured. Then on the club, it's measuring path angle and it's measuring angle of attack, but it says that it's an estimation of face angle and dynamic loft. Now, if you don't want to use a marked ball, it says that normal shot not use. Oh, club marker not used. So you don't have to use a club marker and it's still going to give you ball speed, ball direction, backspin, and side spin. That's obvious, but it won't even give you an estimation on club. So you're not going to get any club data without the sticker I'm going to show you here in just a minute. You measure, I want to say it's like 20 centimeters up from when you have the club lie, you know, laying down on its normal lie position up on the shaft, and I'll show you where I put that on my club. And then if you're going to use just a regular ball, non-marked ball, then you're going to get ball speed and ball direction, but an estimation of backspin and side spin. That makes sense. With the club sticker, same thing, path angle and attack angle are going to be measured, and then face angle and dynamic loft estimated. Now let's say that you want to use no club sticker, no marked ball. Understand that you're only going to get ball speed, ball direction, and estimated backspin. All right, so you are not going to get a side spin estimation. All right, so I'm going to show this chart up on the screen so you guys can understand this, and I encourage you to look in the user's manual if you're trying to, you know, decipher what's included. And then it says virtual shot. Well, what is virtual shot? Well, virtual shot is this right here. This is a swing stick that it includes. And you know, a lot of my real golfers in the channel, you're probably going to say, really? Am I going to use a swing stick? Well, guess what? This device is so small and so portable that this actually could be a full engagement in a unique situation for family and kids or friends. here's another thing you have to understand, and I'm very interested in testing this actually. Let's say that you're in an apartment or somewhere where you can't be hitting golf balls. It's loud, you don't have the space, whatever it may be. Well, looking at the swing stick, the way that these dots are actually placed on it, all right, you can see it actually has like a line on the top, so I'm assuming it's reading that line, and or for you to look at, and then you have these dots down here, and then these dots here, and it's square. No pun intended for the square golf launch monitor, but this is also square. I'm assuming that it is easy for it to read the path and the angle because it's squared, so it very well potentially is going to give you some solid data to have fun with. Now it says that it is estimated ball speed, estimated ball direction, estimated backspin, and estimated side spin. That makes sense. You're not hitting the ball. It doesn't know where you would actually hit on the club, so it's not reading a golf ball. You set a golf ball down, and that way you know where to line up, but you swing over top of it. But you're getting measured path angle, angle of attack, you're getting measured face angle, and dynamic loft, which you are not getting with a regular golf club. So let's say someone was in their apartment or something, they just want to they want to start cutting the golf ball. They're coming way too inside. Well, they could just sit there and be like forcing a golf swing and then working on their path or face angle with this. So believe it or not, and I don't think this has been emphasized that much, this is a training aid. So for sub $1,000 range, I mean, you have a training aid, not just a golf launch monitor. And then of course, you could go outside when you need the room or whatever it may be and set up a net and have yourself, your full actual golf club and golf ball. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the shot data information. It actually has a measured range. All right, so in the ball flight category for speed, it can actually measure or have a measurement range of 3.4 to 201 for shots. So that would be mile per hour. It doesn't actually say that, but I'm pretty much positive that has to be mile per hour. So you are not going to be able to read anything that's sub 3.4 or over 201. So, your major hitters out there that are breaking 200 might not be for you. For putting, 1.1 to 17.9. And I think that it said it will read 5 feet to 50 feet of putts. So sub 5 feet, a little one that rolls a foot, it's not going to properly measure. It might pick them up every once in a while. We'll test that, but I don't think it's going to measure. Now ball direction, 15 degrees in either direction. That's pretty solid. Elevation, it says sub 10 degrees, I believe is what I'm seeing here, and then 70 degrees. All right, so that would be launch angle. It's calling elevation. Different countries, different types of verbiage being used there. But backspin RPM, it actually says sub 2,000, so negative 2,000 to 12,000. So I would assume that's going to actually pick up something like my crazy driver that I hit every once in a while, where it's 8 degrees up on the ball, high on the face, and it's sub 1,000. We're going to put that to the test, see if it can do it. But it's good to see that it goes all the way up to 12,000 for your high wedge shots. Not many people really going above 12, some, but that's plenty in my opinion. And then side spin, negative 7,000 to 7,000. That's huge. That would be massive hooks and slices, so I think that we're going to be good there. And then for club data, path angle of negative 30 to positive 30 and attack angle negative 30 to 20. All right, which are huge. I mean, attack angles, you're going, let's say 3 or 4 degrees down or something, and you're going 5 or 6 degrees up on driver. I mean, that all should be good. So, and then the path, of course, would be, pretty massive as well. So that's some good data out of the gate. I am excited to get this thing going. No more further delay. I think we've covered everything I wanted to as far as unboxing. Let's get this set up. We're going to start by covering the Square Golf software and what's included and showing it in action. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back inside the GSV studio. We have our Square Golf launch monitor connected to our desktop computer. We downloaded the native Square Golf software, which includes driving ranges closest to the pin and putting practice. My camera's covering up the game, but you can see the multi-game setting. The included driving range closest to the pin and putting practice is all free. But when you go to play on the courses on here, and I will play a hole and show you guys, that is going to be kind of like a pay-to-play system. So it's going to charge per person, per hole, and that takes a credit. It came with 1,000 credits, but they're cheap. It's not like it's $1 a credit or something like that. So it's interesting kind of type of subscription that they're doing. You only pay if you're going to go play holes, and it's only per hole. But the integration is free, so you can use E6 and GS Pro, as I mentioned before, and that's free, but you're paying for the other software. Now, is it going to stay for free forever? I'm not sure, but as of right now, it is. Other things to talk about, why am I holding onto the remote? Well, I found out that this thing is easy to navigate because you just point down at the unit. You don't have to go over to the software because it's communicating with the unit that then communicates to the software. So kind of cool. You'll see it's at 100% because I am plugged in right now. So it came in like 60 something. I was using it and I figured, why not plug it in? Well, you can use it while it's plugged in. So I just left it plugged in. So it's at 100%. It charged pretty fast too. I'll go to settings just to show you guys that really quick. There's language, graphic quality, which is at high. Aspect ratio is an interesting one though that I want to show you guys. You can actually go right in the software, and let's say I had a 1x1 square screen, you can actually change that in the software. So I thought that was pretty cool that that's easily available if someone needs to adjust it. The swing stick, why does it have driver iron and a putter setting? Well, it's because you can use it in a mixed way. You can hit your driver and irons and everything with the swing stick, then you can actually do real putting, actually with like, you know, a putting mat and a ball. So it's kind of like a mixed use if you do that. It's kind of cool. Background music I put to off, sound effects on. Distance, you have yard, feet, and then I put mile per hour for speed. You'll see that it has a golf ball setting. I set it to 0. I want to see what it says this golf ball is doing. All right, the included golf ball that has the markings on it we need. So it might not be perfect, might not be as spinny as I'm used to with the Pro V, but let's see how it works, right? That's it for settings. Just wanted to show you guys the basic settings. We'll go to home. And the first thing I wanted to show you guys was driving ranges. You notice over the right, it has all that information for weather, but it says server location Asia. I mean, that temperature and humidity are probably where I'm, you know, at. It seems like it's accurate. I think it might have a built-in barometer. Don't hold me to that, but I'll double check, which is pretty cool. So adjust air pressure. I'm trying to remember if it had that or not. So I'll throw it up on the screen. I'll dig it up. But let's go to driving ranges. I mean, I want to hit balls for you guys. This was a tiny bit underwhelming. I mean, not a tiny bit, kind of a lot if you're looking for the club data. Because if you go to graphic modes, you have the range and everything. But if you go, you don't have club data in the graphic mode. If you go to data mode, then you do have the club data, but you have none of the graphics at all. It's just you're staring at it. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a second. I'm going to leave it on tracking. I think it's better than fixed for the camera. We'll go to graphic mode, then we'll hit shots. I'll explain what I have on the club really quick before we go to, you know, the club data mode. But basically 20 centimeters above, you have the club sitting in an addressed position. Measure from the center, all right, up. And you're going to, bottom of the club I should say, up, and about 20 centimeters is where you need the club marking. There's 20 of them included, enough to do your whole bag, or some of your clubs, some of someone else's clubs, whatever it may be. You do not need to change the club setting down there, even though you can do that with the remote, because we're not playing with the swing stick and it's measuring the ball independently. And then as far as the hitting size goes, it's 6 inches by 6 inches. I find it to be big enough, but not necessarily huge. So like if I move the ball here, you'll hear it say ready. It even gives you a graphical representation up there. But if I move it just about 6 inches back, you'll see that it won't lock in. And then I can't quite push the edge of my mat. So if I go to the side of my mat, it picks it up there, so not bad. When you're in the center, I feel like it's almost a little bit bigger. Doesn't pick that up, so maybe I have it just a little bit closer. It's 45 centimeters from the unit to the ball. And then if you're using the swing stick, you basically line up to the unit. You get a green indication on the center LED that tells you it's ready. Like I said, it has that graphical representation. You guys can't quite see it up on the screen, but it's just a little square, shows the ball. So you have an idea if it's too far forward or left or right, whatever it may be. But that's it. I want to hit shots for you guys. I want to show you this thing in action. I figured we just hit a normal shot. You guys know my 8-iron data from all the various videos and launch monitors I use, so we'll be able to, you know, see if it's my averages. Let's go ahead and just make a normal 8-iron swing, which tends to be a little draw, which I see there. Ball speed, I mean, for just hitting the first couple shots, not bad. 148. Carry, this is about a 150 to 155 club, 160-ish plus if I'm really hitting a heavy draw, and then a cut down to 145, even 140 if I swing light. So not a bad first shot. Let's hit our little cut that we're used to hitting. See what we can do with that. Didn't quite release the face enough on it, so you're going to see probably a little more cut than I would want normally, but still good distance. Decent spin for this ball. I mean, 6,000 so far. Let's try to start the ball farther left. There we go. How about that? Starting it way left, cutting back. So I'm glad it picked that up. I got pretty good distance. I clipped that well, 63, 7, or 58. My really, really well struck balls with a Pro V1, about 7,000 to 7,500. I'm talking well struck, lower on the face. If I'm hitting them fat, it could be as low as 4,500 to 5,000, you know. Okay, so it didn't quite come back, but decent. So now let's hit some draws. So I'll try to start this ball a little bit right and work it back. Very thin, but I think it's going to give us the right representation. Just, you know, jumped at it a little bit. It's not easy for me to call out shot shaping all the time, but I do a decent job. I like the launch angle between 20 and 22 or so, probably 21 to 22 on average, I'd say. It could be up, but that was thin too, so that would be lower. Because I want to say 22, 23, maybe on average, high 24. Ball speed's in check with what I normally see. Carry is a little light, but that wasn't a good shot, so let's try to get upwards of 160 now. This is a draw. That was a little toey though. I swung hard at it and it's drawing back. 161, so I got the extra distance. 167 left.
Ready.
And it had a little draw to it, but I want to hit like a push draw for you.
Ready.
So we're going to aim right. Make sure I have the face closed. Oh, did I just not release it hard enough, or does it not like my push draw as much? I mean, I sometimes have a difficult time releasing a draw. I felt like that was going to come back more than that, but it said 174 carry too, so maybe a little bit of a misread on that one. 120 ball speed. I mean, when you're talking about entry-level units, guys, I was joking with somebody about this. I mean, they're like, I hate it when someone takes a $799 unit and says, this is as good as a $25,000 unit. I mean, if you're buying a unit that's under $1,000 and you say it's as good as a $25,000 unit, I mean, I think you're misspeaking, personally. I mean, you have to understand, there's different functions, built-in screens or no-marked balls or whatever it may be. I mean, I don't think that's really the right thing to say. I mean, can you get a great golf experience from what I see so far? Yeah, I mean, you really can. I really want to get this push draw, though. Let's get a big push draw. Okay, so that one was toey too. And I mean, I released the heck out of it. I didn't quite push it enough though, so I need to make sure I see it hit right on the screen. You can see it. It did hit a little right, and it went a little right. You can see, I think this was the mark right here. So, okay, I'll take that. And that's more realistic 163. I mean, I'm kind of swinging pretty hard. Maybe I shouldn't swing that hard. I also want to make sure I'm not pushing the outside of the zone, because I'm assuming if you're right on the edge of the zone, you're not going to get as good of a reading. Why would you push that limit? Push draw is the plan. That was ideal. Started right, released the face, came back. I feel like that 170, I don't know if it's its algorithm or maybe the low spin coming off of this ball sometimes, and I bet you that's it. It's probably not the alg. It's probably that shot on a Pro V1 is higher spin, which is less carry, because everything else looks pretty in check. Ball speed maybe a little high. I mean, I swung kind of hard at it, but I don't know if I can get this club 170 or not. It'd be interesting to test, with various units. You could take stickers and put them on the ball of a Pro V, which maybe we'll do, and we'll do more testing. But I want to show you guys everything this thing has to offer. So let's exit out of here. Let's go to quit. And let's go to closest to the pin so you can see what this looks like. You know what I have to do though? I actually have to show you guys the data mode first. So let's go to data mode. This is where I am going to change to 8 iron, because even though it's reading that ball data independently, I want you guys to be able to see the proper graphical representation of the club up there. So let's hit one that we know is going to be an out to in path, which is a measured data point. Face angle's estimated. That was a very heavy shot. But, I mean, I'm changing my swing about every 3 seconds here. Outside in and inside out. Let's hit one more. That should be an out to in. That was more normal. There we go. 4-1 out to in and face a little open. So that was pretty normal. All right, so now let's make sure this goes into out. I won't go crazy into out, but 11.2. That was an interesting face closure on my part, so let's hit one more. Try to take almost like a normal swing, because I'm usually a little into out. There we go. That should be, 8. And it says, and now that must be face to, what if that's face to target or face to path? And that it's estimating. You know, face is open to target probably, I would think, but not positive. I'm gonna do one more end out for you guys. I just want you to be able to see the path and the, you know, what do you have, the angle of attack. It actually says it's measuring. So we haven't been paying close attention to that. On a normal shot, let's try to hit a normal shot. I think angle of attack is, I don't know, average of 3 for me on an 8 iron. So yeah, it should have been less into out, 2.1. So interesting. The carry's a little less on these, and I'm kind of making a normal swing. I don't know why. I mean, they're not all awesome strikes, but I feel like that was pretty normal, and the carry was only 147. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I just wasn't quite swinging as hard, I don't think. Focused too much on what I'm doing. So that was 0.7. And that was, the end to out and face opened, I can totally see. I'm not sure about the angle of attack, honestly, because I don't pay close enough attention to my 8 iron angle of attack to know if I have a variance where it can be, you know, not hitting down on the ball as much, but it's very possible with my style of swing. Let's go out to in again. The fact that it's going out to in and into out tells me it's reading good path. Not saying that I'm guaranteeing that it's within a degree or 2 or anything, but if you're trying to work on your path, it looks like it's doing that. Angle of attack, I generally feel like I see 2.5, 3.5. So I'm gonna have to work on that for you guys to verify, but at least you're getting comparable data here, you know, on the club data screen. Don't you wish you had the graphical representation along with that? I really wish we did. Now I want to show you close to the pin what it looks like. You can pick a distance, so 160, green speed 10, concede distance 4, and then you just go to graphic mode. And then so now what you have is a target out there. And you can see it has like a heat map of what the green looks like. So let's just hit another normal shot down there. Wasn't a bad shot. A tiny bit behind the ball. See, now that backspin showed higher. I don't think we've seen one that high, which with it being a little bit fat, lower ball speed, lower carry, I'm surprised to see the backspin that high. So I feel like it does have some variance in backspin. We need to pay attention to that. The low spin went really far. That was a little bit of a heavy shot, went a little high. So I think that probably have to pay attention to the backspin a little bit, or maybe even total spin. So, you know, that was a little heavy too, and it was only 6,000. That was a pretty bad shot, honestly. I'll try to hit maybe a little draw up there. There we go. That was a pretty good swing, honestly. Tiny bit maybe behind the ball, not like crisp, but like really good. Like, yeah, can't complain with that. By the pin, Drew, 160
Ready?
carry. I mean, that's kind of like, that's my 8 iron. So overall, averages seeing pretty good. We got to test more. We have to test more. Let's go to quit. And then let's go to putting practice. 10-foot putt, green speed of 10. Let's test this out. I want to play a hole for you guys too.
Ready?
We'll burn up one of those credits. We've got 1,000 to burn up. So it's a 10-foot putt, 10 stimp. Now everyone's stimp is maybe a little different.
Ready?
But that should be just past the white dot. Ooh, it lipped out. It says I pushed it a tiny bit. I mean, it's very tough to say because I don't have perfect roll. I've got a little bump here I'll try to put down just while we're putting. It measures in a small distance. It's camera, you know. So it's just that first initial roll. Make sure I don't push this one. Ooh, that rolled nice. Oh, it was too hard though. it went right in the hole. And I just hit it too hard, so let's hit one more.
Ready?
That rolled really nice though. That's the key.
Perfect.
So I would think sound effects would be the talking if you wanted to turn that off. We'll do one more putt, and then we're gonna go play a hole for you guys so you can see what the whole actual golf simulator play looks like. So I'll tell you that the putting's not easy. I mean, if I can push it 0.8 degrees right, so let me try to pull one on purpose. Just a little bit, but I'm gonna pull it on purpose. Oh yeah. 2.4, I mean, obviously a little bit, but enough. I mean, it's tough to like pull it 0.8, but if I pull it left again one more time, maybe a little less this time. Yeah, 1.5. It's tough to get below 1 degree, you know, intentionally because you're almost hitting it square. Reading right and left. I like the speed and everything else. I mean, every stimp is a little different between your turf and the software. I find that they're all, every 10's not a 10. You know, you have to hit at different distances in my opinion. So let's go to game, which is in the lower left. You guys want to see what that looks like? Let's take this down really quick. So you hit game, and then you go to graphic mode, one player. Golf Club Mediterranean, I picked that one to go play a hole, and I'll just play the first hole again. At the beginning of each hole, credit equals to the number of players are deducted. You need to have credits to play 18 holes at the start of the game. So if you don't have 18 credits, you can't go play one hole, is what it's saying. So here we go.
Ready?
Where are we gonna aim? Why is it aiming? I'm clicking here, and it just keeps going right. All right, you guys, I actually stopped the video. I normally don't do this, but I did want to mislead you, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So I was like, you know what, just stop it and show you guys that if you click on the left side of the screen or the right side of the screen, so it's not the mini map that's controlling it, it's the left or right side of the screen. You can't click on the mini map to aim. So I was able to stop, show you the right way, now demonstrate a hole for you. And I don't think you got to see this when I was first loading it up, that you actually can see the hitting area when you're out playing golf right in the center like that. So it's kind of nice. So forgive me, I apologize already. I have swung 0 driver today. This will be my best fairway finder, at least let's hope. That was actually a great representation of spin reading. I hit it high on the face. That's my miss. High angle of attack, high on the face. Notice the backspin super low. Watch any of my videos. That actually is my backspin when I miss the ball. I hit high on the face. I have a huge angle. I hit way up on the ball. So first off, I'll take that drive all day for not swinging a driver yet today. But that was actually a good way of showing you backspin with driver. I'll do a, I mean, this video is going to be long already. I'll do a driver review, putting and chipping review, everything. Anything you guys want to see, comment below. This is a first look review to kind of show everything I can. get you guys the discount code and the link, you know, look down in the description if you're looking to buy this thing. But man, I mean, so far, you know, for an entry-level unit, has putting. Spin readings seem to be decent. Like I said, we've had some fluctuations and a couple little things, but not bad. So there are penalties. When I played that one hole, I was in the rough. Penalties in the rough. I purposely hit it in the sand. That was like a 40% deduction. You definitely don't want to be in the sand, but let's see if we can actually play decent here. 72 yards. Decent swing. Was it the right distance? I get to show you guys putting. I liked the ball physics actually for being basic included software. The green landing, that wasn't bad.
Ready?
Now, when I was hitting putts the first time I played, I noticed they were a little fast. Kind of even that practice area I was showing you guys. So it says it's 10 stimp, almost like a little reminder there. 13 feet. I'm actually not going to hit it much past the white dot, and you'll see I'm aiming a little bit right. Look how far that rolled, even though it was short of the white
Nice
dot.
par.
So that was a par. I feel like it's a little fast, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. Now what I would like to do, since we're continuing our marathon, is I would like to exit out of here really quick. This is a full overview. We'll dive into more things later. But I would like to go to settings, and I would like to turn on the swing stick. All right, and I would like to go to the, let's go to the driving range, because it'll just be flat and easy. And then what I'd like to do is see how this thing performs. So let's go back to 8-iron, what I was hitting. And I'll try to make similar swings. We can do it for driver too. But you line the ball up with the unit. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure I haven't moved it at all. It's pretty close. The unit has this white line I showed in the unboxing in the beginning. It kind of gives you a good idea of where it would sit. And then it says it's ready. And let's make a swing. Let's try to hit that draw first. Actually, you know, let's try to hit the cut. Oh, a little cut. 110 ball speed. That's almost like my 8-iron. 154 carry. That's kind of creepy. I mean, look at the numbers. The launch angle's a little low. All right, let's try to hit a draw.
Ready?
So, first of all, that's kind of creepy. It's the ball speed and everything is so similar. But I think what I'm seeing already is that it's more forgiving. So like, let's try to hit a huge, you know, pull slice, if you want to call it that. Oh, I got more curve out of it though. I really did. Just not quite as much for how extreme I was doing it. And now let's do a big push draw. If you had friends or kids or whatever in a living room, they'd probably have a blast with this. Yeah, so just not quite as much as I'd expect because I was ripping my hands left on purpose. The ball speed was a little high, 170 carry. Let's do one more of those. But I mean, let's just be honest. If you were in a living room just for fun and you actually get to putt, like I said, on a mat if you want to. All right, aim right. I tried to turn my hands as much as I could. So it's just more forgiving. But remember, you get the club data from this. So if you just wanted to try to keep it as straight as you could, so let's go back out. Let's go to driving range, go to data mode, and say you're working on that 8-iron. I kind of want to hit some drivers. Maybe we'll go back out and just do one more couple swings of driver, but let's say you're trying to hit a cut. You're working on a cut. That's your goal, is to keep cutting the ball.
Ready?
1.6 out to in. Face, it's not going to, and that said 0, because yeah, it measures face with this, right? Yeah, there we go, face closed. I think it's just more forgiving, because like watch, I'm gonna go way out to in.
Ready?
Oh, it's more though. Okay, let's do a big into out.
Ready?
I mean, honestly, basic golf swings, trying to get the feeling, it's interesting. That's all I can say. Not saying that everybody's rushing out to buy this because of this. I just wanted to show it. I think that that is important for everyone to see it. It's something that's included. And it could be kids, it could be a non-golfer that you're, playing with, that you want to have some fun. We got a leash show driver. Let's see. So my ball speed on a really good drive is in the 160s. I topped out at like 170 this summer, 172, something like that. I can get in the 150s when I'm weak and trying to just get a ball down there. And then 160s is normal, 163 to 6 or something. And it would carry, let's say, 275 to 285 if I was ripping
Ready?
it. 164 ball speed. That's creepy. Well, we've kind of shown it all, guys. I want you to comment below. Let me know what you think, all right? I'll dive into this thing more. I think this is a great first look video and review. I'm really excited to hear what you guys think. It's cool to see new products hitting the market, especially in a more affordable space, which I know so many people are looking for. Let me know what you think in the comments and stay tuned for more, because as always, we're covering everything here in the channel. I appreciate you guys sharing this idea with me. Stay tuned, there'll be a lot more coming soon.